To pass your technical interview as a data analyst, here's a few quick tips. When you get into your interview as a data analyst, you're likely going to have to write SQL code in front of the interviewer. On the screen, they'll display some sort of data set, and then they'll tell you to write some sort of code that generates a specific piece of output. Now, if you want to pass that interview, here's what you're going to want to do. First, and probably most obvious, you're going to need to get the right answer, but it's not as simple as it sounds. When it comes to SQL, not all code is created equal, even if they all produce the same output. You could write a piece of SQL code about 5 different ways, but some of them are going to have drastically different performance implications, and some of them are going to be very hard to maintain or read. So to pass this part, you have to have really good working knowledge of SQL. Second, you need to write really well-formatted and clean code. If your code is sloppy looking and it's not using the best practices, you're making it a lot harder for the interviewer to read, and it's likely going to introduce bugs inside your code. Third, you have to be able to effectively communicate with the interviewer and explain what your code is doing. This is because the interviewer might ask you to explain what the code is actually doing, why you chose to write it the way that you did, and if there's any other alternatives that come to mind. So, if you can't articulate what the function actually does and why you chose to write the code the way that you did, you might run into some struggles during the interview. And last, you need to communicate during the process of writing the code. When you're solving the problem, it's perfectly acceptable to talk out loud and talk your way through solving the problem. This can help you collect your thoughts before diving in, and it can also give the interviewer a little bit of insight on how you're thinking about solving the problem. And if you happen to stumble along the way, at least they'll have a little bit of an idea of where you're going, and maybe they can help give you a suggestion.